Mentioned in the bullet.
These things are gonna wreck the ecosystem if we don't stop them. These things are gonna wreck the ecosystem if we don't stop them. One hell of a wigwam you guys got here. What a setup.
Welcome back to Ranger Citadel, recruits. Welcome back to Ranger Citadel, recruits. Welcome back to Ranger Citadel, recruits.
Welcome, recruits. Nice to finally make your acquaintance. Good work saving the day and attaching the repeater units in Highpool. The General and I thank you. Now I'm guessing you're here to learn more about these mysterious broadcasts that you've been helping us with. Well, I'm not gonna say anything bad about the General when I'm sitting right next to him, am I?
You better not, Woodson. I'll take away your smokes ration.
See? But seriously, I think the General has been a wise and cautious leader these past 15 years. Some of the boys may think he keeps it a little too cautious, but they're not the ones who have to feel the calls when good men die. Since we started hearing these strange broadcasts, he decided that the quiet times are over, and his place is here, on the air, listening to the people of the Wastes and sending his troops into battle. Well, we spent the 15 years since we defeated the base code chief's AI retrenching, rebuilding the Citadel, rebuilding our numbers, solidifying our position. It made us a stronger organization, I think. But we also have a smaller footprint now, and some of the places we used to patrol have kind of fallen off the map. Now, though, I think it's time to wake up. The world is changing. These crazy broadcasts, the Red Scorpions in the old prison, reports of trade routes to the east, where we thought there was nothing but radiation. If the Rangers still want to be a force for good in the world, then we gotta start stepping out beyond our own backyard. It was the Rangers' greatest enemy, though really all it was a malfunctioning machine. The mainframe of a pre-war military facility that somehow got it into its circuit board head that everybody in the world was its enemy. It started pumping out robots to defend itself. And if we hadn't stopped it, those robots could have killed everyone in Arizona. The Red Scorpion militia. They took over the old prison when we moved out. Not really much more than a raider gang. But they're starting to tell everybody that they're the real law in Arizona. And they're asking people to call them for help instead of us. Maybe they're really trying to shape up, but I doubt it. Sounds more like an old-fashioned shakedown scheme to me. Our old home base. Not bad for what it was. But we've been outgrowing it for decades. When we cleared the previous owners out of this place, we saw an opportunity to make a move. We always thought the radiation east of the prison was just too strong, and that travel that way was impossible. But now the Scorpions are claiming they've established trade with a community beyond the radiation, called Damanta, and also with a group calling themselves the Servants of Titan. We're not welcome in Scorpion territory, so we can't check the truth of all of this. But they do seem to be getting better weaponry from somewhere, so maybe it's legit. We don't know where they're coming from, or who's making them. Hell, they could be old pre-war recordings for all we know. But we've been hearing them since the skies started to clear. They've got a threatening sound to them, so we've been trying to learn more about them, which is what we sent Ace out to do when that robot murdered him. Now, you've already attached one of our repeater units to the radio tower at High Pool, but because you were unable to do the same at Ag Center, we're in a bit of a bind. See, we intended to make a Watson-Watt Adcock antenna array using those two towers, our tower here and the tower where Ace died. Linking those four would have allowed us to pinpoint the origin of the signal. Now, however, we're going to have to try to find the radio tower the General already mentioned to you in Damanta, if it even exists. Well, it's only a theory, but my guess is that the fallout that's been floating around up there in the ionosphere since the war has been muddying things up there, stopping long-range broadcasts from being reflected back to Earth. Now, maybe the fallout is starting to decay, and the ionosphere is slowly returning to normal, allowing it to reflect radio waves like it used to back in the good old days. Or not. I only know what I read in salvage books. We use the repeater units to boost a weak radio signal out in the field and transmit the data back to the Citadel. And let me tell you, it was hell trying to find enough parts to make the ones we needed, which is why I'm so glad you were able to find the ones Ace was carrying. I'm so glad you were able to save High Pool. Its reservoir and treatment plant provides water for us and the other communities in the area. I'm very sorry you weren't able to save Ag Center. They were doing so much to develop hardier animal and plant stock that would survive out here in the wastes. It's a real blow to have lost them. You sure you want to hear this? Most people's eyes glaze over when I start getting technical. Really? Okay, you asked for it. So with the traditional Watson-Watt method of radio direction finding techniques, it is possible to find the direction from which a radio signal was transmitted using two Adcock antenna pairs to perform an amplitude comparison on the incoming signal. An Adcock antenna pair is a pair of antennas that take the vector difference of the received signal at each antenna so that there is only one output from the pair of antennas. Two of these pairs generate what can be referred to as north-south and east-west signals, which will then be passed to the receiver. In the receiver, the bearing angle can be computed by taking the arctangent of the radio of the north-south to east-west signal. Given any four antennas of a known distance from each other, this method can establish a very accurate directional vector on an incoming signal. Satisfied? I've been hearing the Red Scorpions radio chatter about this place for more than a year now. They claim it's somewhere beyond the eastern radiation clouds. I hope they're right. The radio tower that Gilbert says is rumored to be there could be our only hope for tracking down those mysterious broadcasts. All right. Good luck out there. You'll be hearing from us. Well, you saved Highpool from the wreckers, but I don't think they're going to be calling us anymore. Vargas isn't pleased.
Welcome back to Ranger Citadel, recruits.
Good work cleaning up that infection, Rangers. I'm crossing Stubbins Farm off the list.
the heroes of Highpool. Welcome. I've been expecting you. Or perhaps... A very tough decision, considering it was your first time out. I would have picked Ag Center personally, but I understand your decision. Water is essential to the growth of the wastes. Every new recruit the General brings in gets around to visiting us eventually. The weapons and armor we make are what keep them alive, after all. Most are curious where they come from. I imagine you're no exception. Vargas is a man of vision and prudence. I know a lot of the Rangers think he's too cautious, but I can't agree. Slow and steady is the way to go. He's done an amazing job rebuilding the Rangers after our war with the robots from Base Cochise, and we're stronger than ever before. That doesn't mean, however, that we should now go charging off to fight everybody and their brother. We must expand gradually and fully assess all threats before taking action. We service, repair, and reinvent every kind of weapon, from knives and handguns to rifles, even energy weapons, when we can get our hands on them. We don't do explosives, though. That's TNT Tan's department. We have everything from sturdy leather jackets to hand-forged plates, to the finest reconditioned pre-war combat armor we can find. You'll have to pay for the more expensive items. Research and repair doesn't come free, but we aren't out to make a profit, just to recoup our expenses. Go see Sergeant Melson for that. I've got some custom, interesting armor, but the General's orders are to save those for special loadouts only. Well, that's a bit of a misnomer. We do make some of them, the really interesting ones, but mostly what we do here is refurbish scavenged weapons and armor. One thing we hope our Rangers will do is collect any broken down weapon parts, stray bits left over from modding, what have you, that they find as they patrol the wastes and bring them back here, to Melson, over in the Quartermaster's office. In exchange, he'll buy it off you at a great markup. A pre-war research facility, dedicated to the science of robotics. Its mainframe was malfunctioning, and kept building more and more robots and sending them out to defend itself against imaginary enemies. The Rangers destroyed the computer and the robots and saved the world, which is, of course, a good thing, but, well, I wish I had been a Ranger then. From all reports, the sophistication of the computer's AI was incredible, and its death was a great loss to science. I can't help thinking that, had I been there, I might have been able to find a way to shut it down without destroying it. What a tool for good it could have been. The others say that our biggest threat is the Red Scorpion militia, who have taken over the prison which used to be our headquarters. They've been getting more organized and settled, and the fear is, now that they've established themselves, they'll start expanding their borders. What I say is, this will make them easier to negotiate with. Nomadic raiders have nothing to lose. A clan with towns and farms to protect thinks twice about risking their destruction by going to war. I say our biggest threat is expanding too fast. Let's make sure the communities we patrol are fully protected before we go looking for more. Nicest guy you could ever want to meet, but, shall we say, less than cautious? He's nearly blown himself up more than once. He likes creating experimental explosives just like I like working on experimental weapons and armor. Though I dare say my safety record is a trifle better than his. He knows his guns, I'll give him that. Though I wouldn't have him in my shop. He's not nearly focused enough. Huh. The interesting ones are my department. I'm always trying to come up with new and better weapons and armor using bits and bobs we have lying around. Can't just give them away, though. Creating them takes a lot of our precious resources, so the General is pretty tight with the requisition orders. Well, the General keeps a tight grip on requisition orders. All of the officers in the Citadel have the power to give them out, but only if we think a particular weapon would be necessary for the successful completion of a mission, or if we're impressed by how a Ranger team completed a difficult assignment. I can hand over one piece of tech for each rec you earn, but just one. So make sure you think it over before you take the first shiny thing you see. Let's have a look at it. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Did the General tell you? He was so pleased that you found Ace's killer that he authorized a requisition order for you. You were to have your pick of some of my more interesting creations. Some very nice pieces. Let's see. The General allocated a requisition for you for completing a thorough investigation of Captain Ace's death site. Some very nice pieces. Let's see. Nothing new for you. Thanks for visiting, recruits. Come by anytime. And go see Sergeant Nelson if you're looking to shop. What can I do for you? Thanks for visiting, recruits. Come by anytime. And go see Sergeant Nelson if you're looking to shop. Mm-hmm.